Hey, everybody, welcome to Fatso Radio. How you doing? This episode of Fatso Radio and every episode of Fatso Radio is brought to you by Volpe Martial Arts. My brother, Sifu Adam, comes to you with his lifelong passion, lifelong experience, and skill, and brings you Hapkido and Kung Fu. Hapkido, Korean martial arts, Kung Fu, a Chinese martial art. Brings it to you at volpemartialarts.com. Don't forget to check it out. Friends, tonight, episode number 124. My pleasure each and every other Friday night, folks, each and every Friday night, not other Friday nights. I come to you, and tonight, no different. I'm really excited to share with you the fact that my dad is here. I'm going to have him on the podcast. We're going to do a lot of cooking together. We're going to do a lot of eating together. We're going to do a lot of celebrating together. I miss this boy. We lived together years ago. We had an apartment. It was a great time. I didn't say this in the show, but I wanted to kind of touch on this, but a lot of my buddies from back home and all over have had a lot of fun with my dad over the years. He's hosted for them. He's entertained them. He's shown them a lot of love, and they've shown him a lot of love too. So I really appreciate that. So I talk about my dad. I love talking about my dad. I also talk about it's summertime, folks. Let's go on. What's going on? 2020. I'm keeping it up. All right, let's get going. I love it. That's so radio. Lily, take it away.
Fatso, the really great podcast show.
Fatso, our very first podcast show.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fatso Radio. How you doing? My name is Carlo Volpe, and it is my pleasure to come to you each and every Friday night. And tonight is no different, folks. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for your shares. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your questions, all that stuff. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Fatso Radio is a passion of mine. It's something I do each and every Friday. Like I said, June 18th tonight. But really, it's just a passion of mine. It's something just for me to share what I really believe and what's worked for me. Not believe in a sense of where I put in all my hope into it, but I'm really kind of testing it. And I've found a lot of things that do work for me. So I really kind of believe in a lot of the principles, and they've tested them out and they work. So I'm trying to share the love with you and share the knowledge. So Fatso Radio, again, a higher fat diet, a higher protein diet, a lower carbohydrate diet. And it's not just that what I'm talking about, but I'm also talking about different things. Every time I have a new idea, or not just a new idea, but even a different way of looking at it, or many topics that you have looked at in different ways that are controversial, I like to explore them and talk about them on this podcast. Part of the reason why I feel comfortable doing that is because with the ketogenic diet, or what I found at least through the ketogenic diet and a higher fat diet and the paleo type, even now of a carnivore type of an approach, I felt like I had to go against the grain a lot of times. And it's kind of given me a little bit more confidence to go against the grain with a lot more things, or at least feel free or more free to go against those grains, and to really challenge things a little bit more, to say, well, what's going on? Let's try and figure this out, right? So this episode is not going to be controversial. It's not going to go and really go against the grain too much. But Fatso Radio is a podcast, is a YouTube channel, is whatever we are, dedicated to questioning, exploring, sharing the knowledge, sharing the love about diet, about fitness, about everything. So tonight, I want to celebrate. I want to thank. First of all, I want to celebrate the fact that my dad is back in town. So my dad is in town, rather, not back in town, but my dad has moved down to Kitchener. He's going to be going back and forth to Sault Ste. Marie a lot. He still has tons of family and tons of friends there. But and I wouldn't be surprised if he actually has a place in both, if he can. But anyway, he's here in Kitchener, and I'm so excited to have him here. Me and my dad are very, very close. It's funny, as many other people can probably relate to, maybe not everybody, but growing up, I was as close as a lot of people are, and to in a setting or a situation, or in a family setting, even an economic setting where the parents are working. My dad was working a lot. He had a restaurant business. He was in the catering business, so he worked early in the morning. He came home late at night. Didn't see him a ton when I was a kid. I did see him on the weekends, of course, and the time I did see him was quality time. I got my share of spanks and yells and all that stuff. Just kidding. I had a great time with him. We did go fishing a couple times and all that stuff. But as we got older, this is where I'm going with this. It's not a shit on him episode, believe me, by any means. As we got older, I started spending a lot more time with him. By the time that we, my parents split up in the mid 90s. So when in 1995 or so, I lived with him. My brother was living with him. My grandmother, so his mother was living with him as well. We all lived together. And then my brother went away to school. And around the same time, my grandmother passed away, and me and my dad ended up getting an apartment. So, and at the same time, actually, so my brother went away to school, ended up coming back, ended up getting married, moving to Toronto. My grandmother passing away. Ended up that after my parents got divorced, it was four of us, and then within a couple of years, 4 years, it was just two of us, me and my dad. My brother was still alive, obviously, Adam, Sifu Adam. But it was me and my dad, living in an apartment for a couple of years. So from 1999, I think it was about 1999 or so. Well, basically from 1995 all the way to 2002, I lived with him, and from I think it was 1999 or so till 2002, that's where I lived with him, or 2001 or so, that's where I lived with him in an apartment. So when I lived with him in an apartment, it was awesome. We lived just behind the restaurant that he owned, him and my uncle Vince owned, and the families. And it was great because, I was working in the casino business. And well, when I was still in high school, but after I finished high school, I was working in casino for a year or so. I would finish my shift at the casino, then go down to the restaurant and have this humongous breakfast if I was on a night shift, or if I was on a day shift, I would have a huge supper, and then I would just go home and sleep or chill out or do whatever. It was pretty chill. Now, I mean, it wasn't the healthiest time in my life, but it doesn't matter at this point. What I'm reminiscing on is how much fun it was, and how it was such a it was a challenge. It was a learning experience. I mean, to go from being a mama's boy, right? For all intents and purposes, for not until all intents and purposes, I was 100% a mama's boy. Still, people may call me a mama's boy. But for, to be the youngest of four, very close to my mother, very close to my grandmother, my nonna, who was his mother, to now just me and him living together. So it was a transition, right? We butt heads many times. He showed the horns. He reminded me who was the alpha, which was great. I was 19 years old at the time. Some would say I needed that. I don't know what they're talking about, but it was an awesome time, and we really bonded. We got close together. We were times we were sitting outside on the patio having cigars and having brandy, just chilling out. Good times, bad times too. I'm not bad times as far as arguing, but hard times, and difficult times and real times, times that you don't always have with your dad. Talking about things, I look back now, and I'm actually so grateful that I had that experience with him. I was 19 years old or so, and was he probably at the time 40 something, or maybe even 50? I don't know, something like that, 40s. So he's where I am at now, 25 years, whatever later. And thinking back now to the conversations that we had about, marriage and about kids and about all that stuff, where I was crying about a girlfriend that I would have broken up with, or most likely have been dumped, for being honest. And then he, at the same time would be crying on my shoulder about, the relationship, him and my mom, or I'm not spilling the beans on you, Pa, too much, but just anything, just about life in general, about, his family and how close he's very close to super close to his family. And that's what I love as well, is that he showed us that growing up, even though we weren't there 24/7 with us. You don't need to be there 24/7 to instill values and to really teach lessons. I guess it's a good reminder to me that you don't have to be there 24/7 in order to still have those values. But anyway, so it's 21 years later, and my dear old dad is back in town, and I'm so excited. He has an apartment here, a condo here, and it's like 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes away from my house. Like I said, he's still going to go back to the suit. I'm going to go with him. I hope. Actually, it'll be an awesome opportunity for me to go back more often. So I'm really excited about that. But he's here, he's close, and I'm excited to, go for walks, go for bike rides, whatever, hang out with him, train with him. Volpe Martial Arts, good time to remind everybody, Volpe Martial Arts, check it out, volpemartialarts.com. Kung Fu, Waterloo's hottest, newest Kung Fu and Hapkido. So my dad's going to, he's going to come and he's going to hang out. He's going to train with us. But it's just been awesome. My daughter Violet today, he moved in, I think just earlier this week. So yeah, Tuesday or Monday or Tuesday. And my daughter Violet today is like, are we going to see Taton every day? I said, yeah, I think so. I'm like so excited. And I'm like, I'm 42 year old. How 40? Yeah, I'm 42 year old. Soon to be 43. And I'm just so excited because, it's not only as he's we became quite good buddies for a couple of years there when we were living as like I was a teenager, but also my dad from my papa as a kid, and then now as having him as a nono or taton is what we call him. Some of us call him taton, some of us call him nono. It's basically it's the same thing. I think it's an Abruzese version of taton or nono, I believe. So it's awesome having him here, and and when Violet asked me that, I was like, I was, almost in tears right away. So I'm like, I'm so lucky. I feel I'm so lucky. I feel like I'm so lucky because I have my mom close too. It's been my dad's been so far for so long. And it's amazing. So I've I think I've seen him almost every day. Why not? I mean, I've been waiting for like 20 years to see the guy. Anyway, so it's amazing to have him here, and I'm excited. Like, Pa, welcome to Kitchener, and Kitchener is gonna love you. Ottaviano. It's funny, the Otto is a common German name, but Ottaviano is Italian, so you have to differentiate himself from the Germans here in Kitchener. I'm sure you will. You won't be shy about that. So, Pa, I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited to learn as much as I can from you. Everything from how to make every one of your amazing dishes to new experiences. And I want to have you on the episode. I want to have you on for an episode, but I also want to start doing a little bit of more demos, maybe a little bit more of like how-to cooking shows, or some simple demos on recipes or things that you make or things that we can make together. Have some fun, maybe bust each other's balls a little bit, and just have a good time. So that's what I want to say. The other thing I want to say today, after I want to say again, welcome, Pa, welcome Ottaviano Volpe to Waterloo, to Kitchener, Waterloo, Kitchener. I think technically you're addressed. Yeah, you're in Kitchener. But Sault Ste. Marie, I want to give a big shout out to Sault Ste. Marie and everybody up north. The Sioux is the Sioux. The Sioux is home. Home is home, folks. Yes, you can have 2 homes, you can have 3 homes, but no matter where I am or no matter where I'd ever go in life, and I'm sure my dad would say the same thing, that the Sioux is the Sioux. It's the zoo, but it's the Sioux, and it's home, and we love it. And there's no place like the Sioux. There's no place like the Sioux. That's just all I could say. Now, am I going to go back there one day? I don't know, probably not. But I'm always going to go back to visit. Always going to go back to visit. So the next thing I want to say after that, welcome again, Pa. I love you. It's amazing for me, and I'm here for you, buddy. Next thing I want to say is what's going on with summer. Folks, summer is coming up. It's basically officially summer in a couple of days. It's been feeling like summer over here. I'm doing the same thing. I'm keeping up with my 2020. I think I started in May or June. I'm not sure if it's been over a month now. I think it has been over a month. But I'm keeping it up. And it's interesting because I didn't plan on talking about this, but I'm going to talk about this. I've been doing the 20 again, right? Which is just 20 push-ups, 20 crunches, and 20 squats. Every morning, usually before noon, sometimes at 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. if I'm working early, or sometimes noon if I'm off. But regardless, I've been doing it for just over a month, and my diet's been the same. I haven't changed my diet at all. If anything, I've had a couple cheats here and there, but relatively the same. So it hasn't been any better than the month before, or any worse for that, but pretty much the same. And I'm noticing my body is different already. I'm noticing, not noticing that I'm bigger or anything, but I've noticed that it's kind of like, I was just reminded, I'm like, oh, this is what it feels like again to have you kind of like more of a regular use of those muscles, right? And that's the case, I think, for anybody. It must be the case for anybody, that whether you have huge muscles or no muscles, or everybody's got muscles, of course. But what I mean is that whether you've worked on your physique or whether you haven't worked on your physique, and I haven't really worked on my physique per se, worked on strength, of course, over the years. But I think that when you take a break, whether it's intentional or not, and when you get back again and you reignite that again and you notice that again, that's magic. That's magic. And I guess I want to say, use that if you feel it, capture that if you feel that, if you notice that, and use that to fuel you and to motivate you and to keep you going, because that's a great feeling. And it's just something that's matter, even something like just walking with a little bit more, better posture, right? Or just being a little bit more assertive, just physically more assertive, and doing something as a routine every day, that can really help. And I think that's what it is. Right? That's really what it is. What else is, I'm doing 20 push-ups, I'm doing quick crunches, I'm doing squats. Other than that, yeah, I'm doing a little bit more physical work around the house again, outside with the yard work and stuff like that. But really, I've been doing that all spring and winter. So not so much winter, but winter I was working a lot more. So something just to be said about, having a better feeling, a better kind of a presence, a kind of a balance. And that's what I kind of want to say. So that's what I've been doing for my summer. I've been doing 20 every morning. I still suggest people go for walks. I'm going for walks, not as many as I'd like to. I do want to go for more walks. And I want to go for more consistently, I guess, more bike rides as well. And those are great. Water. I want to suggest everybody drink a lot of water. Again, I'm not a doctor, folks, and it's a good time to remind everybody, end of the episode pretty much. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving you medical advice. I'm not going to, but at the same time, not telling you or giving you advice or even suggesting you do anything that's crazy. Nothing that's out of the ordinary, or nothing that's what anybody would consider, not common sense related, or even an opinion that's not out of the ordinary, I guess is what I want to say. So drink water, drink plenty of water. Also, don't forget electrolytes, right? So, which is just salt. I put a pinch of Himalayan salt in water, and it ensures that water is going to have a little bit of minerals, a little bit of sodium in it. And I do that. It keeps me hydrated. I, in particular, need quite a bit of salt. So I add salt every time I drink water. Every time I drink any kind of beverage, I usually add some salt to it. But at the same time, I don't drink a ton of water. But water is one of those things. I want to do another episode on water. Hopefully I can find like a water expert, but not a conventional kind of water expert or a hydration expert. Somebody that's kind of thinking a little bit outside the boxes when it comes to salt, sodium in water, because there's an interesting dance there. And I don't nearly know enough about it, or know nearly enough about it rather. So I want to know more, but that's what I'm doing tonight. That's it. That's all we got for tonight, folks. I hope you have a great Friday night. Friday, June 18th. Wow, folks. Thank you so much for listening to Fatso Radio. Thanks so much for watching Fatso Radio. Keep on sending me your ideas, your comments, your questions, your whatever. If you do like it, if you do watch it, please send me even just a note saying, hey, Carlo, I like this, or I don't like this, or whatever it is. I appreciate it. I like all the feedback. Let me know if you have any ideas where you want me to go with the show. Sometimes it's kind of hard to get a good grasp on, what I should talk about, I guess is what I want to say. But at the same time, I'll just follow my heart like I always do and lead me this way so far, folks. And I really appreciate it. And it's fun. I'm going to have a fire tonight. It's going to be a bonfire. It's going to be amazing. We call it bonfires. Fire. What is it? A bonfire, a campfire, whatever it is. Oh, with the kids. I'm really excited. Hopefully they're still up. It's early now. Thanks so much, friends. Thanks so much, family. Thanks everybody for watching Fatso Radio. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the notifications button, and let me know if you want to be on the show. It'd be my pleasure. I love you all. Fatso Radio. Let's say bye to everybody. Bye. And we'll say thanks for listening. Say thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.
Fatso Radio, the really great podcast show.
Fatso Radio, the really great podcast show.
So get your butt and get in your chair.
Don't eat your nails and don't pull your hair.
We'll talk about chicken or talk about steak.
We'll talk about fat, for goodness sake.
Fatso, the really great podcast show.
Fatso, our very first podcast show.